But we have more tests by far than any country in the world.
But, sir, testing is up 37%.
Well, that's good.
I understand. Cases are up 194%. It isn't just that testing has gone up, it's that the virus has spread. The positivity rate has increased. The virus is worse than it was.
Many of those cases are young people that would heal in a day. They have the sniffles, and we put it down as a test. Many of them, don't forget, I guess it's like 99.7%. People are going to get better, and in many cases, they're going to get better very quickly. We go out and we look, and then on the news, look, if you go back to the news, all of even your wonderful competitors, you'll see cases are up. Well, cases are up. Many of those cases shouldn't even be cases. Cases are up because we have the best testing in the world, and we have the most testing. No country has ever done what we've done in terms of testing. We are the envy of the world, they call, and they say the most incredible job anybody's done is our job on testing, because we're going to very shortly be up to 50 million tests. You look at other countries, they don't even do tests. They do tests if somebody walks into the hospital, they're sick, they're really sick, they test them then, or they'll test them in a doctor's office. But they don't go around and have massive areas of testing, and we do. And I'm glad we do, but it really skews the numbers.
I'm going to do you a favor, because I'm sure a lot of people listening right now are going to say, Trump, he tries to play it down. He tries to make it not seem as serious as it is.
No, this is very serious.
75,000 cases a day.
Show me the death chart.
Well, I don't have the death chart
here. Well, the death chart is much more important. But I can tell you, the death
chart is 1,000 cases a day.
Excuse me. It's all too much. It shouldn't be one case. It came from China. They should have never let it escape. They should have never let it out. But it is what it is. Take a look at Europe. Take a look at the numbers in Europe. And by the way, they're having surges.
Are 6,000 in the whole European Union.
They don't test. They don't test like we test.
Is it possible that they don't have the virus as badly as we do?
No, it's possible that they don't test. That's what's possible. We find cases, and many of those cases heal automatically. We're finding, in a way, we're creating trouble. Certainly we're creating trouble for the fake news to come along and say, oh, we have more cases. Look, we did something that nobody's ever done. Not only the ventilators, where we're supplying them all over the world. We did a testing program.
Because, of course, even with 140,000 deaths and 3.8 million cases in the United States, still Trump is defending his response to the pandemic. Apparently, more deaths than World War I is considered a success by Republican standards. Now, first off, Trump is still leaning on this notion that the only reason we have so many cases is because we're testing more. He has made it abundantly clear that if we didn't test, we wouldn't have as many cases, which, to be clear, doesn't make sense. People will still get the virus, they just won't know they have it. Kind of like how not getting a pregnancy test doesn't mean you won't have a baby. He says that many of our nation's 3.8 million cases are just young people who will heal in a day. First of all, the majority of cases are not young people. 6% of our nation's cases occur in people 17 years old and younger, according to the CDC. The rest, the other 94%, occur in adults over the age of 18. And by the way, Trump's claim that 99.7% of people get better is patently untrue, an outright lie. The mortality rate in actuality is around 4%, depending on the source. Not 0.3% like Trump is claiming, but more than 10 times higher than that. So I get that Trump is hell-bent on playing this entire thing down, but pretending that the deadly virus that has already killed 140,000 people in the United States isn't actually dangerous is low even for him. Trump goes on to actually brag that no country has ever done what we've done on testing, claiming that when you look at other countries, they don't even do testing. But here's the thing, they don't need to. They got their outbreaks under control when it actually mattered. So the fact that we're running 500,000 tests a day in the US isn't some badge of honor, it's a testament to the fact that this administration completely bungled their response in the beginning. Countries like Germany and South Korea ramped up testing and coordinated contact tracing systems immediately. And so now they don't need to test like we do because their outbreak is contained. What their leaders didn't do is pretend it was contained before it was, or claim it was a hoax by the opposition party, or foment protests against stay-at-home orders, or politicize masks. But Trump did. He wasted that precious time in the beginning playing political games while other countries took it seriously. And now the guy wants a parade because we're forced to test the hundreds of thousands of people who are getting infected with the virus here. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. In fact, Trump actually suggests that the only reason cases aren't showing up in the European Union is because they don't test. But look at their deaths. Yesterday in the UK, there were 114 deaths. In France, there were 116. In Spain, there were 4. In Italy, there were 14. In Germany, there was 1. One person died there yesterday. Meanwhile, we had almost 900. So Trump can pretend that there's no coronavirus cases in the EU only because they're not testing as much as we are, but they're not testing because they've contained their outbreaks. And their rock bottom death numbers are a testament to that. You can't compare 900 in the US to 1 in Germany and think that those two countries are even in the same universe with regard to the outbreaks. But of course, what would an interview on coronavirus be without, you guessed it, blaming China? And look, no one disputes that the virus came from China. No one disputes that Chinese denialism exacerbated this crisis, period. But China was not responsible for the US response to the virus once it got here. That's on Donald Trump, just like it was on every other world leader once it got to their countries. The difference being that they took it seriously and contained the spread while Trump didn't. So he can blame China, but we're not led by Xi Jinping, we're led by Donald Trump. And so it's him who owns our response to the outbreak, no matter how much he tries to pass the buck. So Trump can try and paint a rosy picture of the outbreak here, he can draw logic-defying conclusions about testing, and can pretend that it's everyone else's fault but his own, but the American people are seeing firsthand the devastating effects of being led by someone whose incompetence is only matched by his narcissism. And don't forget to listen to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I'll take a deep dive into the biggest issues of the week and interview major players in the world of politics, like Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Beto O'Rourke, Eric Swalwell, Katie Porter, and many more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts.